No DQ Galaxy, we are live with a recap of Monday Night Raw for March 20th, 2023, as we are getting closer to the granddaddy of them all, the biggest spectacle of the year, the most stupendous event ever, WrestleMania 39 in Hollywood, Los Angeles, Inglewood, whatever you want to call it, Greater LA metro area. Shout out to the early birds, Darren G, Randy Engel, Joey Perez, LaShawn Davis, Jinx Me, Ryan, D. Martin Fifth, Calvin Bowman, Walter Cruz, of course, Gomer Kyle. Thank you all for tuning in early. And now let's get into this Raw recap. We kicked off the show with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Crowd was chanting for both of them. Sami Zayn talked about how they needed each other and they accomplished things over the years as brothers. And Owens talked about how he was Sami Zayn's biggest fan for years, and it was just frustrating for him to see Sami held under the thumb of Roman Reigns because he knew that Sami Zayn was better than the Bloodline, and Owens said that Zayn actually outgrew the Bloodline and finally realized that it was time to get over whatever issues he had, and they could take down the Bloodline together. And then Sami Zayn said that they know what comes next. They looked over at the WrestleMania sign, and that's when the Bloodline showed up. Well, specifically the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. Jay said that Sami Zayn is what a backstabber looks like, and said that Owens and Zayn are going to backstab each other at WrestleMania. And then Zayn said that Jay's biggest dream is to backstab Roman Reigns. And Jimmy said nothing is happening at WrestleMania. They're not doing the match. And the crowd was chanting, yes, they wanted it. And Jimmy said that they've been on the same page since day one, him and Jay. The title match is not happening. But then Jay said, to be honest, this might be their one shot to take care of the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn problem. So Jey Uso accepted the match on behalf of the Bloodline, even though Jey Uso was against having the match at WrestleMania. And then Jay said, why wait? They got into the ring. We had a huge brawl, and Sami Zayn got the upper hand, went for the haluva kick, but Jimmy pulled Jay out of the ring to safety. Officials came down, and then all of a sudden we saw on the big screen Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Paul Heyman arrived in the building. Good opening segment here to set up the tag team match for WrestleMania. No issues with it. They just got it set up, and now we can talk about, will it main event? That's the big debate. Will it headline night one, or will it be Rhea Ripley and Charlotte? That remains to be seen. We do have a few super chats here. Michael sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, nobody, not even Solo, is ready for Asuka. Well, Asuka is a unique individual, and I'm not sure anybody can really predict what she's going to do. She is definitely capable of a lot of things, and we'll see if she can pull a new trick out of the hat at WrestleMania. If anybody can, it would be her, right? Caleb Jacobs with a $2.72 super chat. Thank you for that, Caleb. Says, KO and Sami Zayn have to win at WrestleMania. I agree with you, Caleb. I absolutely think they need to win the titles for the story to be complete. There's been all this build, and if anybody's going to beat the Usos, it has to be KO and Sami for that feel-good moment, especially since KO came up short against Roman twice. Sami Zayn came up short against Roman, and, I think it's time for a title change. So I agree with you on that 100%. Hamp Connell sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Hamp. Says, I'm really glad they made the match well before Mania. No reason to drag it out when everyone knows what's happening. Yes, I actually give WWE kudos. Well, it's not really well before Mania. I mean, we are less than 2 weeks away now. I think timing-wise, they did it right. They set up the match now, and then they have, 3 TV shows to hype it up. So I do think that they made the right call to do the hug on SmackDown and then make the match official on this show. We had our first match of the evening, which was Austin Theory versus Montez Ford. Crowd was chanting, "We want the smoke." Interestingly enough, in this match, it was Ford getting most of the offense on Theory, which is a pretty telltale sign that he's going to lose, but I think we all knew that going in. He got in plenty of offense. He even did the John Cena "you can't see me" to taunt Austin Theory. He did a top rope crossbody. He hit a dive to the outside, but then Theory gained the upper hand, hit a drop kick, and then picked up the win with the A-Town down. So yeah, it was pretty abrupt. Ford was on fire, and then Theory took control, hit the A-Town down, and won. I should say, not win. He won the match. He did not win. Well, he did win the match. But anyways, we're live, pal. I cannot talk tonight. Match was fine. Pretty basic stuff here. And makes sense. Right person won, obviously. Have to build up Austin Theory. And by the way, they're doing a 4-team match for WrestleMania. This was announced on Friday. They're doing 2 of them, 2 fatal 4-way tag team matches. Street Profits will be in the men's match along with Otis and Gable, Braun Strowman and Ricochet, and the Viking Raiders, just to get those guys on the card, basically. We had the Usos backstage talking to Roman Reigns, and Jimmy talked about how he will never forgive Sami Zayn. They're going to take care of them at WrestleMania, and Roman said he hopes so. Reigns had everyone leave the room except for Jey Uso. And Roman talked about how nobody heard anything from Jey. They had to beg Jimmy to get answers. And now Jey's back and Jey is making decisions. But Roman wants to know, is Jey with the bloodline? Jey said he is in the bloodline through thick and thin. And Roman again said he hopes so. And he did say that he loves Jey. Now, they mentioned Jey quite a few times. This segment and then the opening segment brought up how Jey wants to stab Roman in the back. That's what Sami said. And there's more, too. We'll get to that in a little bit here. But definitely some teases for what might be coming after WrestleMania. We had Adam Pearce backstage talking about the 2 fatal 4-way tag matches when he was interrupted by Chelsea Green. Chelsea was originally supposed to team up with Carmella, but Carmella was not available, so Piper Niven became the new partner for Chelsea Green. We had a video package for Brock Lesnar versus Omos. Omos fought Mustafa Ali, who had no entrance. Ali's doing this positivity gimmick, and he did a little parody of the Hoobastank song, The Reason, which good band, by the way. And Corey Graves had to make fun of them, saying this is 2023, but still, I liked that band back in the day, and I still do. Anyways, quick squash match here. As you would expect, I mean, it went like a minute. WWE posted the whole clip on YouTube and Twitter. Twitter, I should say, because, well, I think now WWE can post longer videos, but, back in the day, you could only post the 2.5 minutes on Twitter. And, yeah, WWE full match. Omos versus Ali on Twitter, on their official Twitter account. And then after the match, MVP cut a promo, said Brock Lesnar will learn to fear Omos at WrestleMania. You know, the video package is nice. And next week, they're doing a weigh-in, which, you know, I guess is another way to have them both in the ring at the same time and try to make it different. But anyways, this was just pretty standard stuff here. Didn't really do much to hype me up for WrestleMania. They really don't need to do anything else. They really don't need Brock Lesnar on next week's show. Like, just do the match and, you know, Brock F5s him and then we move on. By the way, no Bobby Lashley on this show again. No Bray Wyatt. So apparently Wyatt is dealing with an illness. That's the rumor going around. So the match for WrestleMania is up in the air, which, I mean, honestly, I think it's a good thing that they're not doing the match, quite frankly. I just feel bad that neither guy is getting a WrestleMania moment as it seems. I mean, I suppose it could still happen, but there's no indication that it's happening at this point. Like, they haven't been on TV at all. They're not even teasing something else for Bobby Lashley. We had Logan Paul come into the ring for his Impaulsive TV segment, and he talked about how he doesn't have to be there, but he loves wrestling and he wants to be there. It's a shame that the people do not love him. He said that most of them will never respect him, but he doesn't care. He said there's nothing he cannot do in that ring. And he said that none of his celebrity friends are there for the Impaulsive TV because they didn't want to be in St. Louis. They would be gone quicker than the St. Louis Rams. That got some heat. Not Rock and Sacramento heat, but did get a little bit of heat. And he said that he wants to just knock out Seth Rollins again. They could have been friends, but Seth blew it. And then he showed the footage of when he punched out Rollins on Raw a couple weeks ago. Then his mic went out, and we found out that Seth freaking Rollins was backstage in the production truck, and he was messing around with the audio and everything. Then Seth Rollins came to the ring ready for a fight. His music played. He tackled Logan. Officials came down. There was pull-apart brawl. We saw one on SmackDown. We have another one here. And Rollins jumped off the top onto the security. But then Logan Paul took advantage of that, and he punched out Seth Rollins once again. Once again, Logan Paul getting the best of Seth Rollins. What does that mean? Well, I have a thought process on this, but you'll have to wait for the predictions video next week to get my thoughts on that. Segment was fine, you know, pretty good, but not like, oh man, I'm really stoked for this match, but it was fine. We had Dominic Mysterio versus Johnny Gargano with Dexter Lumis out there to counteract Damian Priest. And as it turns out, Dominic did not need it. Match was decent. Gargano's ribs were taped up, and Dominic took advantage of that. Sent Gargano ribs first into the barricade, and Gargano managed to make a comeback, avoided the 619, tried to hit a superplex, but Dominic dropped him to the mat, and then Dominic hit the big frog splash right on the ribs and got the clean 1-2-3 victory. So, yeah, Johnny Gargano losing here clean. Now, I mean, it makes sense. Dominic has a big match at WrestleMania, and he could really benefit from this push here. Johnny Gargano's got nothing going on. So, yeah, it kind of sucks for Gargano. And no Grayson Waller. There was a rumor that Waller was going to be on this show to set up the NXT stand and deliver match that he has with Gargano, but no Waller on this show. And you know what? It's like whatever at this point. Dominic is the one they're pushing right now, so it is what it is. And then afterwards, Dominic got on the mic for a promo and said he's not going to stop until he gets what he wants. He still wants the WrestleMania match with Rey. He's going to figure out a way to do it. He said that this Friday on SmackDown, the Mysterio family is going to be in the arena in Las Vegas, and he is going to ask his mom for permission to fight Rey Mysterio. So we may get this big moment to set up the match on SmackDown. They're definitely teasing it now because Dominic's going to have his mom there on SmackDown. And then he said that maybe Rey will fight him if he can get his balls out of her purse. Good promo here. I mean, I'm liking this storyline, and Dominic's doing some great stuff here. And when Rey finally punches him, it's going to be a fun moment. We had Paul Heyman backstage telling the Usos to take the rest of the night off, but not Solo Sikoa. And more on that here in just a little bit. We had Edge cutting a promo probably in his house with his iPhone, very grainy video quality, which makes me think Edge just recorded this at his home. He turned out all the lights to be scary, and he said that Finn Balor has no idea what he's in for. He said that Edge said that he does know what he's in for because he's been to hell. He was baptized in hell by The Undertaker, a reference to their Hell in a Cell match back in 2008. He said that he wants Finn to stay at home. He wants the demon to come to WrestleMania and meet the devil. So basically a confirmation that we are going to get Demon Balor versus Brood Edge Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania. Good promo here. I think that they should have had a camera crew there, though, so the video quality would have been a little bit better instead of just using Edge's iPhone for the promo. I mean, that's what I'm thinking here with that grainy quality. So anyways, moving on here, we had Rhea Ripley come into the ring for a promo. This was a very promo-heavy show with WrestleMania coming up, and the crowd was chanting for Charlotte a little bit, and Rhea talked about their history and said that she makes Charlotte question respect for herself, and that's why Charlotte will probably never respect Rhea. The crowd started doing the what chants, and Rhea quickly shot them down, said, "Don't what me, you're all pathetic." She brought up how Charlotte has her insecurities, and Charlotte tries to keep people down. Rhea said that Charlotte's going to be done. Rhea will be the biggest star in WWE, and Charlotte will not necessarily respect her, but fear her. And why is the crowd chanting for Charlotte? Well, Charlotte is the babyface, and they should be chanting for her. If they're not, then there's a problem. We had Damage Control randomly showing up, and this was odd because it's heel and heel. Bayley said they respect Rhea Ripley, and Bayley was a little upset that Rhea did not ask her for help onto how to beat Charlotte. And Rhea said she doesn't need their help. Bayley said Raw is their show, and it's time to show Rhea that that's the case. And Rhea was down for a fight. Bayley accepted, and we had the match. They fought on the outside for a bit. Damage Control got involved. They shielded Bayley, but Rhea just dove past them onto Bayley. And Rhea went for the riptide, but Damage Control once again interfering, getting on the apron. And Bayley tried to pick up the win with her feet on the rope, but that did not work for her. And that's when Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus, and Lita arrived. And Becky had some popcorn, and Rhea applied her prison lock submission, but Bayley got to the rope. Damage Control pulled Bayley to the outside, and then Becky Lynch and company had enough of Damage Control's interference. Bayley was distracted, and Rhea Ripley got the win with the Riptide. It should be noted that this was Bayley's 10-year anniversary, so I guess they had to do a match with her on Raw. It was fine, build up Rhea, and they continued the 6-woman tag match storyline and build up for WrestleMania. Michael sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that, Michael. Said that, is Mommy really a heel though? Yeah, she's a heel for sure. She'll probably get cheered over Charlotte at WrestleMania. That would not surprise me. And after this segment, it was fine. And I've been saying that a lot tonight. It's fine. But I still 100% think that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos should main event night 1 of WrestleMania. We had Chad Gable backstage trying to find Otis. He finally did. Maxine Dupree was there, and Otis was conflicted, but Otis ended up going with Chad Gable to the ring for Gable's match against Ricochet. And this was the best match on the show. This was the only match that really seemed to get a good amount of time, and the crowd was very much into it. They chanted, "This is awesome." They did lots of big moves. Gable coming off the top with a clothesline, and Ricochet built up some momentum, hit a springboard clothesline, did a standing shooting star, back and forth, traded some near falls. Gable had the upper hand, and then Maxine Dupree came out there and took Otis away. She brought him to the back, and Gable, of course, was distracted, and Ricochet picked up the win with the top rope shooting star. Best match of the show for sure. And I guess now the tease of the breakup continues between Chad Gable and Otis. I feel bad because I think that Gable and Otis were doing well as a babyface tag team and maybe could be taken more seriously, and now it's back to the comedy. But maybe this is the end of the team, and maybe Chad Gable gets a singles push after WrestleMania. We'll see. We had Bianca Belair and Asuka versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Corey Graves brought up basically making fun of the whole "can they coexist" joke, saying this happens every year at WrestleMania. The opponents always have to team together and things never work out. It was a pretty funny line. It's very true. Like, they do this every year, the "can they coexist" for these big matches. And of course, they were working well together, but then they had the dissension and, have had some issues. Bianca, so Piper Niven's in this match, and whether she's Dewdrop or Piper Niven, they always have to do the spot because it always gets a pop. And it's just funny because every time they do it, the announcers are like, "Oh my, I can't believe this is happening," even though Bianca's done it now like half a dozen times on television, basically getting Piper Niven up for the KOD. And the crowd always pops for it, though, so they always do it. And she picked up the win. No surprise here. After the match, we finally got the breakup. No more nice Asuka. I guess this was the official heel turn. She was kind of a heel, but now I guess she's clearly a heel. She attacked Bianca after the match and left her laying, although maybe it's not so much of a heel move to take out your opponent and make it clear, "I'm coming for your title. We're not friends." But, whatever. I mean, she is going to be the heel in this match. Crowd might cheer her over Bianca, though. I mean, Bianca's been champion for a while. And, when somebody's held the title for so long, eventually the fans tend to get tired of it. They want to change. They want something different. So we'll see how the crowd reacts to this one. This will be another interesting match just for the crowd reactions. And we're finally getting some heat for the match. I'm still not like highly stoked for this match, but it's something. You know, they are kicking it into high gear now with WrestleMania coming up in less than 2 weeks. And then we had our final segment of the evening. Roman Reigns out there with Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman. Roman said his acknowledge me line, and then right away, Cody Rhodes showed up. Cody Rhodes got in the ring and basically wanted to know what is the Cody Rhodes problem. And Roman said it's not Cody. It's what Cody represents. Cody, in Roman's words, is a professional wrestler. Damn it. Shout out to Noah Foster. Roman said he's a fighter. He's a megastar. Cody had the potential to be a star with Stardust and ran away, according to Roman. Roman said that Cody ran away and started a promotion that he could not get over in. So he had to run away again. This was the little reference to AEW here without actually saying AEW. And then Roman said Cody came back, and after a couple months, his body gave out on him. His pec was torn. Roman said, this is not cut out for Cody. And then after WrestleMania, Cody is going to run away again like a little bitch. Cody said that Roman's right about a lot of this. Cody did run away. But because he ran away, there's now 100% of a locker room that can make a whole lot more money because there's other options out there. There's another promotion. And Cody said, yeah, maybe he is just a professional wrestler that loves the taste of his own blood. Cody said that at WrestleMania, Dusty's not going to be there. There's only one thing Roman Reigns is going to see at WrestleMania, and that is Cody. And then Cody started to really dig into Roman, saying that after he beats Roman at WrestleMania, Jey Uso's going to leave him, Jimmy Uso's going to leave him, and even Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman will leave him, and Roman Reigns will be a chief without a tribe. Roman walked off, upset about this. Solo Sikoa started to leave, and Cody said, I knew you were not ready. And that's when Solo tried to attack Cody. Cody avoided the Samoan spike. Solo got angry, but Roman held him back. And that was the end of Raw. So the interesting thing to me in this final segment, you know, they did the AEW reference and they brought up the Bloodline potentially breaking up. And this was throughout the entire show. All these teases, the opening segment, the backstage segment, and then at the end, they're really hammering home that Jey Uso might leave Roman Reigns. And I'm feeling like this is going to be the post-WrestleMania storyline, whether Roman retains or not. I mean, we never got to see Jey versus Roman in front of a live crowd. And I think they're going to go full circle. I really think we're going to get Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns at some point after WrestleMania. But the big question is, will Roman still be the champion? So the last segment was great. Opening segment was very good. Rest of the show was fairly standard for a WrestleMania period of Raw. It was decent, but not great in my opinion. The only segment I thought that really built up WrestleMania strong was the main segment. You know, the opening segment set up the tag match. You know, it was good. And the last segment was really strong. So I'm going to give the show a B-. I think that some of the middle part of the show was just okay. You know, the segments were fine, but there was no angle where I was like completely out of my seat and feeling overly excited. Didn't really do a whole lot. The Logan Paul stuff was okay, and the Edge promo was good. Teasing Demon Finn Balor. But yeah, I really think that the beginning of the show and the end of the show really carried it. And at the end of the day, like, those are the most important matches. So, those need to deliver. And I think they did. So that was Raw, everybody. And we got 3 more shows. We got 1 more Raw, 2 more SmackDowns, and then we got WrestleMania 39. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest news and rumors regarding WrestleMania 39. And we got a lot of live streams coming up. It's going to be crazy, like 13 nights, I think. I'm not even sure the exact number, but there will be a lot of streams. Subscribe if you haven't already at youtube.com/AaronRift NoDQ. Have a great evening, rest of your evening. It's pretty much the morning, but enjoy your Tuesday, enjoy your week. Take care, everybody. Much love to everyone out there, and say yes to NoDQ.com. I will see you all next time.